Hello, welcome back. It is a post-Christmas and New Year's Solana Gaming updates. It was a bit of a quiet Christmas for me. I was very much at home with the family, and we had a great time of doing family shenanigans as you do at Christmas time. So I hope everyone had a great Christmas, a great New Year's, and you enjoyed that special time with your family. It was very quiet for me compared to the busy year of being a Stepn global ambassador, traveling a lot, doing a lot of spaces. I miss my spaces. I really miss talking to community, and it's been very hard coming home and not doing that. And next week we'll be firing back into it. So I will announce that further down, what I'm going to be talking about during that. But a lot of teams have gone on break over the Christmas holidays and the New Year's holidays, and that's good. They have people, families, and important people as well to build through. So it's good that a lot of teams took that time off to recharge. They should absolutely be concentrating on family during the times. Solana had a bit of an uptick this week because it went under $10 last week. We see it at 13.60. It was almost $14 earlier today, which dragged a lot of other coins up with it as well. Bitcoin was funny though; it's still under 17K. It's weird. I'm not a I don't play the tokens that much, but obviously a lot of things went down in the week. We saw GST on Solana go down a fair chunk during the double GST event, and it's just a shitty market. It's a bear market. Really cool. 2 weeks of the Shill, and I've got this page up here because I really love this Technicolor Reef by Ox Banana, and it was put out with Solana Spaces. So I really love that, and I've got that in my DeFi land map in several places. It was just a really, really cool picture. But Shill's I've always got the links down below. There was good things in both the articles since my last event. But even if it's just once a week, you read it. It comes out on an Aussie Sunday afternoon. So that's like a late Saturday night in America. Early Sunday morning in the Europe. Really good way of just learning bits and pieces through it and having a bit of a read. In the one on this week, the one that was released a few days ago, talked about Bonk and how that drops. So Bonk is very big in the community at the moment on Solana. Bonk is the first Solana dog coin for the people, by the people, with 50% of the total supply airdropped to the Solana community. I got some airdropped in one of my wallets. Be careful. So it's a shitcoin. Has it got utility? Who knows? Obviously, I got an airdrop and it's worth $400 now. So what do I do with that $400? 40 Solana or 28 Solana or something like that. In the end, I haven't sold it. I don't know what to do with it. I'm watching it go up and down like everybody else. But it's a bear market. So people are having a bit of fun. You're seeing a lot of projects tweeted out, getting airdrops, all these kinds of things. I think a lot went to DeGods. I saw a tweet out today about, who was it? I'll have a look on the side here. I think it was Genesis Go. Mentioned they're going to be doing something for their token holders. Who knows whether they link it up. But just be careful. It's a bear market. Survive the bear. Don't ape into it thinking it's going to moon and go to $1 or it's going to go to 1 cent. I don't even know what the actual token amount is at. I got 270 million. I'm just sitting there and just having a look at it every day. So today there was a big pump up in the business. They are actually moving blockchains. So they were earmarked to be Solana. I don't know whether they're going to be multi-chain. I would imagine they would be multi-chain down the track. I haven't followed it as actively as I could. I did swap my shits and I minted shards. Savage helped me with that. And it's definitely one I was looking forward to coming on Solana. Moving to another blockchain, I'm not desperately keen to expand my knowledge at this stage because it's Solana Gaming with Barndog. I love being on Solana. I love the teams I've met. And I want to make sure that I don't sort of, try and learn too much too quickly myself. So haven't stressed about keeping up with that. Sixen does that for me and keeps me updated. The latest, MonkeDAO. I didn't read last week's, but the Christmas New Year's one, they were talking a lot about merge. And it was funny, they were also talking a lot about restructuring the DAO because I think they had 16 members on the board. And in a DAO, it is it's very, very hard to get things to happen when you've got 16 people and things got to be authorized and all that kind of thing. But talking about DAOs and stuff is, obviously Grape Protocol was huge for me, and Grape is the most successful DAO experience I've ever had. Really, really love it. So MonkeDAO, obviously quite expensive to get in, getting a monk, but it's good to see what they're doing. Stepn had a 2-week event. I believe it was 2 weeks. So it was double GST earnings, and they did the STEPN. You mint common sneakers, uncommon sneakers, whatever you minted, you've had a chance at getting those 5 letters, and then you could enhance those to get the next level of shoe. But it wasn't a really enjoyable event for me. The N letter was a much lower chance, my experience, than getting the rest of them. So you could mint. So I don't understand what the aim was. If the aim was to have a fun event where you go towards getting your 5 letters and you enhance to get the next sneaker, instead you had this where you would get the STEP and then you would have to buy and put more money into the game to get the last letter. Or it was another lottery chance to get that. So I didn't actually manage to do the Christmas sock or the New Year's shoe. I got stuck with uncommon S, T, and an E. I have been still minting on my account, and I told people I'll be letting you know when I'm trying to sell shoes, or when I have successfully sold Genesis, for example. I took my Genesis off the market, so I couldn't sell it. Apparently they had a pump this week. I don't see why. There's still a lot of things they don't announce, and yeah, it's been very hard. I am playing Stepn every single day because it's a way for me to get Solana out and to put it into other projects. So it's definitely something I still do every day. I'm at 37 energy roughly. I'm going to be dropping myself down to 32 energy. So still actively looking at it, still playing it every day, still minting. I'm not enhancing, of course. I don't go to any of the Stepn spaces, and I generally don't worry about that. More itself, I didn't follow what was listed on it. A few of them just seem like pump and dumps, and I just didn't bother with going deep into it. On the other hand, Genopets, I'm learning more about Genopets. You can see on my screen here, Barn Dog level 22. I went and bought myself a Genesis Genopet this week with profit, and got into that to get a bit more of an experience into Genopets. So obviously I'm moving a shitload with Stepn as it is. So why not go into other games like Genopets? I've also tracked my defit, but that's on Ethereum, and it's also, I'm still only on the free because it's very buggy from my experience. Actually getting it to sync to a wallet is quite difficult, so it hasn't worked. But on the Genopets, they had some good announcements this week. They did have a special minting before the end of year, so that's finished now because today's the 3rd or the 4th. But where was it? There was a special cookbook and recipes that were done by the end of the year. So that's obviously finished, and the crafting is cranking along. I don't understand the crafting stage of it. Today I was given a habitat, and next week I'll be doing a space with Crit. Everybody should know Crit. If you're following me, then you'll know Crit has been a superstar within the Stepn community, helping with mystery boxes, data, tracking information, all that kind of stuff. He helped with people being able to track comfort and their GMT earnings and all that kind of stuff. He has got his own project coming out, GameFi, and I'm going to be doing a space with him and Jay from Genopets. It should be Tuesday morning, my time next week. I'll tweet that out once I've got an exact time. But I'll be giving away this habitat that I was given today. I think they're sitting somewhere around 7 Solana. Where are we? Habitat 6.6. So this is good for me this week to have a bit of a play. So today I did my session. I did about 13,000 steps. I'm going to go for an afternoon run this afternoon as well. I'm doing 15Ks. So steps aren't a problem. I think somewhere around 7,000-8,000 that the rewards start to scale down. So you don't have to be a super athlete. You can do it in around 40 minutes to an hour each day. So I want to work out what's the next phases in Genopets. You get your steps, you convert that into energy, you then use that energy to either level your pet up, to turn it into key, to potentially synthesize, get some gems, all that. The game is very, very detailed. So the space will be with Crit and with Jay from Genopets to learn what's the next steps. And it's going to help me learn, and I'll have it obviously recorded, uploaded for people to be able to listen to later, and then be able to understand what's happening. This is a much more gamified experience of getting fit. It is a much, much more gamified experience than Stepn with the minting. So it was a really disappointing kind of event for me. It was really, the Christmas minting was more on that. It wasn't an actual gamified experience. But going back to Genopets, they had a good little article here. Have a read. I will put the link to the Medium down below. But the special crafting finished. It was interesting having a look at the pages. There was a whole heap of pages that you had to buy. So I don't know how those pages were. I think from having an early look into Genopets, you did some, they weren't quizzes, but they had some things to solve, some mysteries to solve. And now these are selling for quite cheap. So I don't believe these crafting notes are actually useful in-game anymore. But it's just so deep to understand and all of that. But the nurturing of the pet is there at the moment. You put 2 fingers on and you've got to pat your pet every day. I look forward to seeing what comes out. I've listened to the town hall. I listened to several other town halls as well. And they're going to have more and more gamification coming in. What was really cool was actually seeing the change between when you install the habitat into the game and your whole background in your game changes. So it's good to see. The Kaiju cards, I've got this video on my YouTube several times of me playing it with the 3 characters. I had fun with it. It's not a huge immersive game, but it was enjoyable to play, and I very much look forward to seeing the next build. So they'll break down and talk about that later. So I've still got that up there. Now, I have a trait pack from Project Eluune. So I got to level 5 finally from doing my daily quests in Discord. I also do the watering, and you water your Star Garden, and there was one other one in Discord, but it's very interesting. It's been one of those things that gets you into Discord every single day to at least try to catch a creature, and it might give you an NFT. I've got about 9 or 10 over the months of doing this. But I'm going to open up the pack. So I got this for being level 5. Trait packs are becoming a very common thing within many of the games. So if I go back to Genopets, Genopets are going to allow you to trade out different traits and to move them around. And in a game which is going to be combat, PvP, potentially esports, that's going to traits, rarities, that's all going to be important. But for the Oramas, I already have some traits from before. Let's do this up. So what is that costing me? 0.006 Solanas. Let's have a look and see what this trait pack is. It's a common trait pack, and I will show more once I get up to the slide of the levels, because they're giving out more trait packs. I believe they did a mint as well. Oh, hello. Let's try that again, shall we? All right, so no idea what happened there. We'll have to come back to this later. Now, this was a cool one as well. I didn't even know about this. Degen and led by Trash Pandas, I believe, did the trait pack. And this is where traits are starting to come into more of the NFTs and the games and all that kind of stuff. They sold out very quickly, I believe. I know Killer Machine got some. I didn't know much about it. You're going to see trait packs released by many, many games. It's a way of being able to bring more revenue in. I don't believe they're going to be super expensive, and they don't need to be super expensive, but teams are going to need to have ways to revenue raise. This is just going to be constant. They're going to want to keep doing mints after mints after mints. I was thinking about this whilst thinking about Gyrus. So Gyrus is a game that wants to be the people's Marvel studio on Solana. And they've got great storyline and build out and the team. And I've got lots of NFTs there. And I love the team. So it's one of the games that are on my list of to buys. Now, they are going to be a franchise. They're going to be doing film, movies, and constantly building. But of course, they're going to need to keep raising money. All teams are going to need to keep raising money unless they sell out for millions of dollars and put that money away and use that money well. Raising a project, building a project during a bear market is going to be extremely fucking hard. So, thinking about Gyrus specifically, one of the reasons why is they plan on being the Marvel studio. When you think about Marvel, when you think about how many movies we go to, we're constantly spending $20, $30 at the cinemas. If you go and get popcorn, you know, you get a drink, all that kind of stuff, it all adds up very quickly. But very often you take your partner or your kids, your family, you might spend $100 at the cinemas. So there's no reason why these trait packs won't work. I played Magic the Gathering. You can see behind me my Force of Will set up on the wall. And you would constantly buy booster packs for Magic. You would go in, you might buy 4 packs on a weekend, or you might buy one every day, or you might buy a box of Magic booster packs, you know, $120, $200, whatever they're worth these days. So there's no reason why NFT projects cannot keep doing this. So it was really interesting to see the Trash Pandas do it. I don't know what the traits are going to be like, what they're going to do, the next gen, all that kind of stuff. It's not really up my avenue of that totally. I still think the Degen party in Lisbon, how they did the link up with Cupcake, was absolutely fucking amazing. I really did enjoy it. And it was good to see how that's linked up, and you've now got NFTs in your wallets, and eventually you'll get to hand those in to get stars to work towards getting the mystery boxes, the loot boxes. So that is very cool. Where are we? Blanksoles. Sorry, there's a bug there. Blanksoles just did their announcement and their redemption for the rejects, the monk rejects. This is not loading up. So it was cool to see that. So if you did mint in this, slides, not really my thing. I prefer pluggers. I keep telling people as an Aussie I wear thongs. That's something we'll call them. But I minted nonetheless. Anything to do with Blanksoles, I'm very, very interested in. Anything to do with Solana Spaces, the merch, all of those kinds of things. I think they are very cool, and merch is definitely something that is going to go well. Cardinals I've been having a bit of a play around with at the moment. So cardinal.so. I've done a couple of spaces with Mike, I believe it is, from Cardinals before. And the reason being is they have a renting system set up for multiple games. And I was having a bit of a look at how it worked with DeFi land. And mostly people are putting up guns and harvesters with some fishing rods. So I put up a gun myself at a cheaper rate than what was the cheapest one at 171.42. So I put it at 170. I thought I'll see how it goes for a week. Didn't rent out. It was a very simple process to use, so I definitely enjoyed the simplicity of it. But if knowing the gun numbers is the same as fishing, so you get energy, you can play the game a certain amount of time. With a max level common fishing rod, you make something like 300 goldie per day. So what I'm not completely aware of at the moment, if you rent these, do you have to repair them? Because that adds up very quickly and withdraws from the rental. When you look at 170 goldie per day, if you're making 300 and you don't fully play the game out perfectly, I don't know there's going to be a lot of money in that. So it's interesting to see. I like seeing the stats. It's telling you the levels. It could be maybe a little bit easier to read. I think this is quite complicated for people that don't understand DeFi land, because in DeFi land you've got 4 rarities and they affect how much you earn, the bonuses, how easy things are. So what I like seeing today, I had a look at this, and there's a shooting gun at 100 goldie per day. That's actually a chance to potentially make money. Wow, look at that barrel level, 89 out of 90. So that's an epic barrel. Yeah. So what I liked about seeing this was its adoption coming into the gaming side. I think there's actually chance to be able to make some money. I don't know the shooting game well. I don't like the shooting game from what I've played. I am leveling up 2 guns at the moment now, and I will start to have a bit more of a play with them later. But that's actually not a bad little gun at 100 goldie per day. What I like about this is that it gives the NFT owner a chance to rent the gun out and make something if they can't be asked playing the game. Using your animals and the fishing is generally quite easy. Fishing takes a little bit of time, but doing the animals themselves, they are very, very quick. So anyone that had DeFi land animals, if you haven't been using them, you probably should think about it. Think of it as an idle staking game. It's quite quick. You can always convert the Goldie into DFL or convert it into USDC or Solana, whatever you like. It is a fairly easy way to do it. But it was good to have a bit of an experience in Cardinal. I really enjoyed it. So definitely have a bit of a look there. Remnants just had a really big event over the Christmas and New Year's, and they had a 2-up event. So when you were upgrading your tiers in your items, you could skip a tier level. It was apparently around a 15% success. I didn't get a single one, so unfortunately, I did quite a few, but it was a good event, and it drove the economy. It pumped the economy for it, and they've got a bit of a 2023 is the year of Longwood Valley. Now, this is one of the games I've done a fair bit of math and homework over in the last few weeks, and I've really enjoyed it. It's made the brain think. Now, I've got about 300 Solana of assets in this game, so that's all my own assets. I've purchased and bought them myself. I've done AMAs with Juice several times from Remnants. I respect the team. I really do enjoy their passion for the game, and it shows. So definitely good. I will put a link in later for the PDF to have a bit of a read. But how they plan on scaling and all of that and going to a free-to-play modeling, there'll be, you would expect, breeding coming in, and I've also based my own 5 remnants male, 5 remnants female, based around, potential breeding down the track. I did have a couple of slides here for Soulcery. This is I've done AMAs with Soulcery a few times, and the artwork on this, my computer shit the tin at the moment, so I can't show the artwork. I had some slides preloaded, but to be able to mint, you need to have, I think it's one of their ruins here. You must hold at least one of the following in your wallet, Soulcery ruins. So it's used in the game. Their artwork is fucking amazing, and I'm not someone that's very, very big on just getting artwork, but their NFT artwork is super, super amazing. And how they've been slow teasing those, every couple of days they slow tease the artwork for them, and I really, really was very, very impressed with their artwork. Now, I did have some things here as well on the side. I've been doing a little bit of research on some other games that either friends or someone has brought to my attention. One of them was Reign of Terror. Reign of Terror have a demo game out at the moment, an alpha, and I haven't been able to get it to work, but I do have a video of it. So it does look good. Unfortunately, couldn't get the demo to work myself, but I, doing a little bit of research into it. Apparently, it's a good idle staking game. They're building things out, reading how they're planning the staking game. And you've got to do these levels of missions. You've got to keep doing the missions and doing the missions to get down them all. Every NFT has to do those missions. It looked good. It's very high on the Genesis. There's only, where are we? Total supply 515, and they're very, very high. If you look at the activity, they're not selling a lot. So I don't know what they minted for. I don't know how much they got, but you know, to get into the game at 9 Solana, you're talking $100. But yeah, it's I don't know. That demo looked good, and definitely was happy to have a bit of a look. From there, I guess I just have to wait to see if the demo gets fixed, because I can't seem to get it to work. Now, another one someone asked me to have a look at was Debeats. And Debeats is a way to gamify music NFTs. And I did enjoy the read, the article, and it's definitely got a chance to be something. But for me, it's not really down my aisle. So I want more games. And Debeats, it did look good. They've won. They won something in the Solana summer camp. So they did well in this. And, you know, I thought, yeah, it looks good. I had a bit of a look, downloaded the app because it's available on Android and Apple. So I downloaded it, went there, had a bit of a play, and it had a Christmas song on it at the time. But wasn't really for me. And I did want to show... No, that'll do for now. Let's go over to my Remnants, because I know one of my Remnants is finished. I am currently put my... That's a good amount of leather. Remnants has been a funny one, as I've been trying to learn more, play more myself, upgrade my items. You're always wanting to upgrade things. Now, do you cash out? Do you stay in the game? You can go to FFF and the famous Foxes Federation. It's the token trades, camp trades. Now, there are a lot of whales in this game. I'm not one of them. I've got 10. I've got a good amount. You know, like I said, 300 Solana. I don't class that as being a whale. It's been interesting seeing this week the owners drop down. So there's 1,000 owners, and the team in their article, they said something like 500 active users, daily active users. So there are active users in the game. They did a energy key change recently in the last month, where you used to stockpile keys, but now you have to actively use your keys every day. You get 2 free per day per remnant. If you don't use them, then of course it resets every day. So it put it definitely in the onus of playing the game to get those rewards. It is an idle game. You can stake remnants for up to 10 hours, or is it 12? I think it's 10 hours is the longest loot trip cycle you can do. But you can do some loot trips are 4 hours, and then of course you get items which reduce the time. So learning the economy has actually been an interesting part for me over the last few weeks. I've actually started doing, if it loads up, some spreadsheets. And this is based on my remnant, which has got tier 9 cart and GPS. So, you know, it gets things very quickly. And I've been doing some numbers, and even today I saw the numbers change. So because there was this 2-up event, it was a lot of people upgrading their items in the blacksmith. So at the moment, I am running all of my remnants. Before, in the last couple of weeks, I was only running 7. I was leaving 3 sitting on the side doing nothing. And then I had a bit of a think one day, and I thought, what do I need to get on my remnants to make them be viable to run? And I was finding with tier 2 gloves and a tier 1 gloves and a tier 1 trolley, they're actually making money. They're paying for their key. So to buy a key is 22 camp. So you want to be able to make more than 22 camp on your remnant for it to pay for itself. And learning that has been interesting. So it's definitely, a lot of these games have ways that you can potentially make revenue. Now, I don't want to say you can make a shitload of money. And I've got 300 Solana into them. So for me, I'm enjoying the upgrading as well. You get like a dopamine hit when you upgrade, and you upgrade to the next tier. And of course, they had the 2-up event. It was a higher chance that they say 15% during the Christmas, New Year's. But I think they are keeping that 2-up option happening during that. So for me at the moment, I'm currently trying to upgrade my book. Sorry, I'm a bit dense this afternoon. So my hunter's guide, what do you call those things? Where are they? Survival guide, that's right, survival guide. So I'm upgrading my survival guide. At the moment, I'm taking that to tier 9. So that's the final level. It's very, very big to get your items. Basically tier 3, then tier 6, then tier 9. They're the power levels from what I've learned. and you've got to really work out what you're doing, what your strategies are. I've got one zombie, didn't get it in game. I bought that zombie, and I don't even recall, it was around 50 Solana at the time. And I was looking at getting another one at the 60s, but then someone bought up the 60s floor, and at the moment there's one sitting at 95. But this has been an enjoyable game for me. So it's an idle staking game, but it's kept my attention to the point where I've been running spreadsheets and working out, unit price and stuff like that. DeFi Land, they did just have the Santa event, and holy shit, I finally finished it today. 750 Santas. Now, this was a painful event. I thought it was really hard to get. A lot of times Santa would be off screen. You're very zoomed in the map. You can't zoom out enough to get it. Even I've got 4 screens sitting on my desk, and I keep one completely set up for DeFi Land. It was still a very, very long event to get, but I'm feel super proud of myself for getting it. Second year in a row. This is the second year they've done it. I am making something like 10,000 Goldie per day on all of my animals and my fishing at the moment, and that's about $1.60 a day. So when you think about that, that's about 1 Solana a week on my entire DeFi Land. So what I liked about working out the number on that was, what do I do with that? Again, I put it all back into my animals. I'm saving up. You can see I've got 23,000 almost DeFi land tokens and 47,000 Goldie tokens. I'll be aiming to do a harvester. I've got one upgrading there, but I want to forge out a harvester. And that was 50,000 DFL tokens and 70,000 Goldie. So I need to save up a lot more, and I'll convert some Goldie into DFL. But I've also now got, in my bank, I've got some staked. I've put that on, no longer on automatic. I'm going to start having that so I can actually accumulate that myself. But I'm not going to forge this one. So I've been looking. If I was to forge this, that's a shitload of money, and I don't think it's worth forging for 2 uncommon traits. So if you look at that, 56,000 DFL, 70,000 Goldie, I don't think it's worth it. So I've been keeping my eyes on getting harvesters with rare parts, and this would be something that I do because it's 5,000 Goldie to strip a harvester, and I did the math on it today. I think it was 4.2 Solana if I spent it today to buy 2 independent harvesters, and then I'll strip them down and I'll build a better harvester. So bit of a play around I've been doing there. So these are the things, is I'm finding enjoyment out of DeFi Land. Obviously I've finally upgraded my doggos. They're there. I've got my cat. He's done several trips. He's getting about 2,500 Goldie a day. The chook is almost done as well. And I bought that cow that was at 30.30. This one's almost done. But the fishing rods, I've actually been enjoying the fishing, and I do a lot of it every day. Let's have a look. I'll show you what is so good about it. It's not hardcore. It's definitely not that. I only do the easy, especially as this is a common fishing rod. If you fail on the fishing, then it costs you money to repair your fishing rod. It's a skill tester. It's a very, very basic skill tester, but I sit here in the morning, I might listen to a bit of podcast, I might do a bit of reading and have this fishing on the side, and then be drinking a coffee. Used to playing it on my smaller screen. Oh. And I don't want to spend forever doing this. Oh. You hear the jingles in the background? When I was trying to do that achievement, it's so hard to hear that jingle knowing that you want to catch Santa in the meantime. I won't force you guys to watch me the whole way through. But this is why I say this is a completely leveled up 3 common, 1 uncommon fishing rod. And if people go and hire these on Cardinal, it might end up costing them money. But I also don't know what happens with the repairs from Cardinals. This is something I've got to learn. Maybe I'll go and ask him in the DFL Discord. Oh, I thought I had that. I remember spending 10 minutes doing one fish before. I had that. I feel like the parameters have changed on this recently. You could, just before, you could just soft touch it towards the beginning, and it worked. Oi. So, as you can see, 126 seconds, a couple of minutes, times that by 4 per day. So I've got 4 energy on this fishing rod, 57, 57 for that particular catch. It gets up to 75. This is a repair for 2. So I'm spending about 17.8, I think it is, to repair it. So you're only profiting 40 DFL. If you're paying 200 DFL a day to hire it from Cardinals, you're not going to be making any money. So it's interesting seeing why people are trying to get such a ridiculously high price on Cardinals when people aren't going to know. So these are things that we need, though, adoption to come into the game. So I'm enjoying this. This is why I've got the other fishing rods leveling up, and I bought that third one. To me, that has been enjoyable. So from there, I wanted to have one more look at Project Eluune before we go. Is it logging in? Yes. So I'm currently 935 out of 2,500 for experience through level 5. Level 6, I get the upgraded creature catching ability. I hope that lets me get more than 2 or 3. But at level 5, I got that common trait pack. So I've done the trait pack. I've got to go and look why it hasn't unlocked. But at level 7, you get the common trait pack level 2. And then level 9, you get the uncommon. So I'm keen to see how they work out and how they level out. But it's been a very cool way of gamifying the experience, getting you into Discord every day, keeping Discord busy. So there are lots of other games coming out. I saw a tweet by Solana Games today and had a look at the game. What was it? While I'm talking about it. Let's go here. Nope. Excuse the mess. So it was in here. This is the thing, is there's so much happening. There's so many games building that there's always going to be something happening. Where was it? Here, the Blade Right. So the Blade Right demo, if you go in and have a look at that, so Solana Games retweeted it. But I know nothing about this game. MOBA and Battle Royale gaming combined with Web3 technology. I went and had a look on their Twitter, and there's a guy that did a 2-hour video for it. The gameplay actually looked pretty fucking decent. So there is a lot of things building out. It's still a bear market. It's still a shitty market, but it's very cool to see that during this, I'm enjoying playing these games. I know out of my Remnants, I was making something like 7 Solana last week, I believe I made, but I put that all back into the game. So when I say I made 7 Solana, that's in-game camp, and of course you can go and compare the price. It's about 3,300 camp to a Solana last week when I was looking. But for me, it's been very cool leveling up these items. In DeFi land, I spend a lot of time in there every morning, doing the fishing, leveling up my pets. If I don't have time to fish out, I just level up my fishing rod and get that going, because they start to take up to 2 days to upgrade one level as it gets through the much higher levels. So there's a long time involved. It took 2 to 3 months to do my doggos. But now the doggos are done, I'm getting something like 3,500 to 4,000 Goldie per day. So for me, it was a little bit of an investment into the game and enjoyable. But, you know, I'm getting my 1 Solana a week now worth of Goldie, and I'll put that into DFL and then potentially grow my NFTs. I've been looking today. There was a good priced cow and a good priced doggo, but I want to make sure I've got 2 of every animal, all those kinds of things. But keep you know, be safe during the bear market. Be careful, like I said, on things like shitcoins and meme coins. It was very cool. If you haven't seen Solana Spaces and you haven't heard about their drip drop, every week you get a free NFT on Solana. This was their one last week. Excuse me. Oh, they've fixed that in game finally. Okay, so before it used to give you a blank canvas, but that was their last week's, and this was the week before, and this was in the Shill line that I showed you. So yeah, there's plenty happening on Solana. It's not a end of days thing. It's great to see the coin bump up 13, 14 bucks. But yeah, be safe, survive the bear. Make sure you get outside, exercise where you can, and keep fit and healthy. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.